mean, I don't love any of these guys like that.
Hey man, it's
You
the
don't?
boys. What the hell?
Like, that's fucked,
What?
man.
I don't want
The
to
boys always got.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to an interesting discussion. Sometimes I'm Tarun, and I'm joined by the regular guys. That's Christian, Harsha, and Haran. And today we have someone special joining us today on the podcast. She's a photographer and a student at UNC Charlotte. Kavya, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Kavya. I go to UNC Charlotte, so I live in North Carolina. I am a photographer, like Tarun said, and I also have my own podcast called Coaches Don't Play.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's my
Nice, good job.
I mean, that's a pretty strong
like-
connection, but
No, I was like, I know there's something else, but I'm missing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we had another podcaster on the podcast, so it's much easier for us to
yeah.
do this.
No, I feel like there's a lot of expectations, but like, since I already know how to record a podcast, but I'm used to like having one other person, and like we usually know what the topic is like going into it. So like the last one we recorded was like plastic surgery, so I kind of knew what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we usually don't do our homework.
No, we used to.
We
used to
try.
have-
Yeah, we tried at the beginning to like have a topic because we didn't know what to talk about. But after like 20 episodes, we were like, all right, listen, we don't have that much more opinion to share. So we were like, all right, we're just gonna talk and see what happens. And it's, for the most part, turned out pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. You guys have like a conversational style. Since we're like exploring societal structures, it's actually kind of difficult to get it under an hour when we're talking about something like so broad, like something like beauty standards or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try our best.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like her podcast, and I hope you guys go check it out. It's Coaches Don't Play. But all her topics are like super like complicated, like super I don't
In
wanna say,
depth.
like abstract, but like yeah,
Hot
in-depth.
button topics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And ours are like
It gets
ours are like,
controversial.
ours are like, what's your favorite fast food place?
Yeah, there's different
No,
levels to
yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does get controversial, so it can be really funny, and like it's very interesting to hear like what people have to say about it too. Like obviously people are gonna like either like disagree with us or like agree with us like a lot. So like even when people disagree with us, it's very interesting because it makes me like question like the beliefs that I hold like so true. Because then it's like you know, like in a chemistry problem, if you explain it to someone, you're kind of like more confident in like doing it yourself. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
That's right. I also think like if you disagree with someone that you're like listening to, you're paying more attention to them, which is probably better if you're recording a podcast because you want more people to like listen to what you believe and like yeah, you want them like if they argue with you, that means they actually like care about what you're saying in a sense.
Yeah, it is interesting. And like we did do a Q&A episode once. So that was like questions like, oh, who's your biggest inspiration and stuff. And that was actually really fun. So we'll probably do more of those.
Who is it?
Who is what? Oh, my biggest inspiration. I would say at the time I said Esther Perel or like there's this YouTuber called Nathaniel Drew. Have you guys ever heard of him?
No.
I only
okay.
know of him
Well,
because you told me about him.
yeah. No, he's like a self-help YouTuber and he like lives in Paris and he's American, but he lives in Paris, so it's super cool.
Like Emily in Paris.
I've never watched that.
I mean, either. I don't know. I always see trailers.
Yeah, good reference, buddy.
Was that a movie?
No,
That's a
it's,
Netflix show. I
It's a
think.
TV
Oh,
show.
It has
Yeah.
Tarun's girl in it.
Yeah, I actually did watch the first episode because she's bad, you know. So
Who are you talking
Was the
about?
show good,
Who's your
though?
girl?
it was the worst thing I've ever watched. I can't believe I wasted like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I saw on Twitter that someone said they're only watching it for the outfits or something because like the plot is so trash.
That is true. She does have like good
My-
outfits in that show.
Fun fact: my mom binged that show in one night. For some reason.
Oh my
Really?
god.
That's crazy.
Dude, it's like super sus, like teenage like shit.
I'm hip,
like,
and I
you know
like
what I mean?
me, my sister, and my mom were watching this Amazon Prime show called The Wilds, and it's like about like this bunch of teenage girls that are like stuck on an island, basically. and it's very like teenage angst kind of like vibes. And it's not a bad show. It's like it's okay, but it's just not. I'm surprised my mom's like into that. Like maybe that's her new genre, like teenage shows. I don't know.
Wait, Torun, who's your girl? I still don't know who the star of the show
Yeah,
is.
who are you talking
it's
about?
it's Lily Collins. You know Lily Collins?
You know Phil Collins?
absolutely
the
not.
musician?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his daughter is Lily Collins.
Oh, actually? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Bro,
nice.
What else?
Time to
is
do a
she
quick
in?
Google. I don't know who this person is.
Hold on, I'll Google it. I'll Google it.
I don't think
She's
in like
in
anything
Love
like.
Rosie. Love
yeah.
Rosie, that
Oh,
that
yeah.
romantic film. Hmm.
I saw the trailer for that. It looked pretty decent.
Harsha,
I'm
what's the
still
last
lost.
rom-com you've seen, bro?
Ask Amrutha.
Oh, I don't know actually. But yesterday, me and Amrita saw an Indian rom-com, I guess. So garbage. Oh, this person was in The Blind Side too? Lily Collins?
Oh,
I
she
know
was the
that.
daughter. She was.
Right, yeah.
Oh, man, that's kind of fucked up. But all right.
What?
What?
What is it fucking?
I don't know. You've been scouting her like that, Tarun?
No, it wasn't like
Stop.
that. He was the same age as Rebecca.
You've been scouting, bro. Dang, she's 31?
Yeah.
Oh wow, she looks really young.
Yeah, she looked like she was
Dude.
in her mid 20s, not younger. She has like this one video of Zac Efron on YouTube. It was like a friendship test. That thing looked mad sus. Like they look like they're like basically dating. I don't know if you guys seen like the friendship test on YouTube, but like they like put them like right next to each other, like face to face, and they just like talk about how much they love each other essentially. And
Yeah.
it's like on a fine line between like your friend or like you're actually like in love with each other. I don't know.
Yeah, the only reason I saw that is people were talking about it on Twitter, so I had to go watch. And dude, it was like, I mean, it was just straight flirting, like
I
completely.
felt like I was
Mm.
watching them on a date. Like I felt like I should not be there.
It could have been like a PR thing. They like do
Yeah.
that sometimes.
Yeah.
100%.
They're smart on their half.
Speaking of Twitter, last week on Twitter there were lots of weird things that happened. I brought this up in our meeting the other day, but Tarun and Harsha have no idea. Kavi, you might know, you might not know. But
Okay.
are you aware of the Bella Delphine thing that went around Twitter last week?
No, I
Oh
don't think
boy!
so.
All right, here we go. I'm
Should
gonna
we
get
explain
really
who Belle Delphine is first?
I'm gonna go all the way through,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and I'm gonna get really uncomfortable. All right, so Bella Delphine, she, I think, started on TikTok. Don't know, pretty sure though, and then she was like one of the first like really popular OnlyFans girls. You know, to each their own. That's cool and everything. Twitter found something she uploaded on OnlyFans. Like OnlyFans is for like people with like their own, like sometimes it's your own fetishes and all that stuff, you know, your own corner of the world. Have fun. But apparently this is like some really fucked up shit she uploaded, which was like, I don't even really want to say these words, but I'm going to have to say them to explain it. So obviously there's like these kinks where like you get kidnapped or whatever, and I don't know. That's fine enough. However, she was pretending she was like 13 years old as well, which no.
Yeah, it got really. She posted this on Twitter, dude.
Like
Like it
really?
was on her. It was on her main account.
Oh, just straight on Twitter?
Straight on Twitter, it was like there's 4 pictures, and it's just like a scene by scene of her being like kidnapped, and then the last picture just straight up her getting like fucked by some dude like in the forest or something. And,
Like she
I didn't even know-
posted it?
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw her post it on Twitter.
This was not like a leak. This was like her
She was
putting it
straight
out
up
there to the world.
straightforward, Yeah, just putting it up on Twitter, and everyone
Wait,
was
but-
just like, how are we letting this girl like get away with this? Basically,
Wait, but how do you pretend like you're 13?
she was just like, I don't know if she was like, I don't know if the 13 part, but she was just like pretending like she's like a little girl. I guess she had like a schoolgirl dress on and stuff like that.
Mm.
Is
Oh, but
this
she
girl
it was
always
just
already?
dressing
very-
like that.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure she always dresses like that. I think that's her whole like vibe or whatever. Like she has like the pink hair and like the short skirts and like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shit.
but then like when you're like posting that and like you're acting like you're getting kidnapped and like I don't know, I feel like that's just. I mean, I guess it's okay if you put it on your OnlyFans because like people are paying for that content. Like that's like I guess you're just a
Mhm.
content provider, but like once you're putting that on like on Twitter and like everyone to see, I don't know. I just feel like that's a little too much in my opinion.
Yeah. She probably knew it was gonna be like a sensational thing if she was like putting it out there for everyone to
Mhm.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean like it sparked like Twitter like that whole night like it was just trending. And I didn't even know because I was checking Twitter that night. And then Christian sent me a message, and it was like a meme of like someone's like checks to see why Belle Delphine's trending and like closes the door kind of thing. And then I was like, I want to
Dude.
go look, of course. And then I was like, I really wish I didn't look.
Bro, I've just been on Twitter the last 2 weeks because I want a fucking PS5 and I got trapped into this bullshit, dude. Like, I didn't ask for this.
I'm pretty sure she like makes like a few $100K a month though. So I don't know if she did it for like a sensational like type thing. You know what I mean?
You
Just
can always
Yeah.
make more,
what's the
buddy.
reason? Yeah, I
You can
mean,
always grow. You can always make more.
But like now everyone knows her name. Like none of us knew her name before that.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. I read an article recently that was saying that OnlyFans is like kind of fucked for like the smaller creators because everyone just spends their money on like the top ones basically.
Yeah, yeah. Like all the celebrities are getting on it. I know Bella Thorne got a lot of shit for that.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's some other celebrities who also are on it. And it's kind of like the whole debate is that, well, they already make so much money. So like, why do they need to make OnlyFans money too?
Mhm.
Wait, speaking of TikTok, we've done our research and someone has told us that you're a low-key TikTok star, Kavya. I don't know.
Oh, what does what constitutes what number constitutes as a TikTok star?
I don't know.
I think if you get over 100K views on one of your things, then you're a TikTok star.
Okay, then I'm a TikTok star.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
No, I went viral like for 2 videos. Both of them
Says
were
it
like
so
the same-
casually. What the
the
fuck?
same concept. It was the same concept. So like it was one of those transitions where like you have long hair in the first one and then you have short hair in the second one. So like that was sensational, I guess.
Yo, I think I saw that. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian's deep in the brown girl TikTok.
Yeah. This is a lot of variance as well. However, that's a good summarization
the thing
of it.
about that is that then everyone sees it. So like my friend's older sister sent it to him and he was like, you didn't tell me you went viral. And I was like, how did you even see it in the first place? Because he wasn't following me. And that's the thing about TikTok. But yeah, so I went viral twice and then now like there's a bunch of people following me for no reason really because I don't have a lot of videos to begin with. So I guess like now I have to be like a hair TikToker or something. I'm not really sure
Change your
how to,
hairstyle like every week.
how to like monetize this. But
All right, next you
Yeah.
gotta go bald.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Weren't people leaving comments like you're a lesbian or something like that?
Yeah, people were asking, "Are you like, is this a win for the girls?" And I was like, no, but like, I didn't want to like answer and just be like, no, so I just left it.
Leave
Yeah.
them curious.
Yeah,
Keep the people guessing.
but that is like a common guess when you have short hair is that people think that you're a lesbian. I don't really know why that is, but I guess that is the trend.
I think on TV and stuff, you always see like when they
they
show like lesbian girls, like quote unquote,
Mhm.
whatever. They always have like different hairstyles, like shaving like the side of their head or something like that, or like you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Or like
it's
different
Yeah.
colors in their hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I know like both of my friends shaved their heads over the summer. Like they both shaved their heads. And so I know one of them would get that question a lot like over on campus and stuff. And I've never really gotten that question except for like online, so like that was interesting.
Wait, people ask her in person if she's a lesbian?
Yeah,
Just
people
randomly?
would ask her that. Not like
Oh.
lesbian. I think people most likely will guess like you're bisexual or something like that. Like, do you like girls? But honestly, like I was asking my friends, I was like, do I have to respond to that? Like, is it like necessary that I respond? And everyone was like, I mean, unless they're trying to slide in, like why does it matter? And I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Did any girl slide in though?
I can't really tell. Like when a girl, like I can't really tell when a girl is like hitting on you or not, because they'll just be like, hi, and then like that emoji, and then they'll be like, you're so beautiful, and I'll be like, thanks. Like, how are you supposed to tell? Like,
yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
pretty fair actually, yo. It must be hard to be like a gay girl, because then because girls already leave all the same
Yeah, it
comments
seems
anyway.
like so difficult.
So how
would
would you
yeah.
like? How would you flirt?
What gender do you
Yeah.
think gasses each up more? Like guys on guys or girls on girls?
Girls on girls,
Girls,
easily.
definitely.
Usually.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, we do it ironically.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's
okay,
true.
I think like we're pretty uncomfortable in like trying to like give each other compliments. Like we tried this before, but I
Yeah.
feel like whenever I see like boys TikToks and stuff, it's always like these like white boys always like hyping up like having other white boy friends, or like the girls never get us, like the boys always got each other. You know what I mean?
I feel
No.
like that's a new thing. Like if I think like freshman year, I remember I posted a picture of the summer, and then Ron, you commented "nice mustache" or something like that, or like pedo mustache or some shit, and I was like, all right.
Did that hurt you? That hurt you?
Huh?
Did that hurt you?
No, it didn't hurt me, but I'm saying like you like
It didn't help
now-
him.
I think if I post a picture now, you're more likely to be like, "Hey, go off, king," or some shit like that with a crown, instead of like, "Hey,
I guess
pedo
that's fair. That's
mustache."
fair. We were
you
definitely more
fucker."
toxic to each other freshman year.
Yeah.
Are we gone?
I don't know, man. We're still pretty toxic.
No, but now we also have like a working relationship too. You know, it's not just
Working.
Oh, man. Yo, we don't need to talk about the 5 different types of tension we have going on. All right.
Yeah, if Ron makes fun of me, I'm gonna contact HR.
Wait, I am HR though. All right, Harsha, we bought you time.
Oh, we did. Oh, yes. Speaking of complimenting your friends, we have a good question here. What purpose do our friends serve? Are they there for inspiration, just for a good time, or are you trying to like imitate your friends? What do you guys think about that?
Depends on the friends, I think.
Yeah, it also depends. Like people classify like their friends into different categories. Like some people like have like 20 best friends, like they think everyone is their best friend, and some people have like 2. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a hierarchy of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I
think
would
that
say
makes
like
sense.
for
Sorry.
support, I guess,
Mhm.
and like to like share things with, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I feel like whoever I'm comfortable with are like usually my best friends. I feel like
mhm.
we're comfortable
Yeah.
enough to share like important stuff to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm ever trying to like imitate one of my friends or like just try to copy them. I think it's more of support and then advice and then also just to have a good time. I think also after college, I think I've been talking to like less and less people. Like usually at school we talk to like people in your class and just randomly you just text
Yeah.
more people. Or like, hey, are you going to the party tonight or shit like that? But I think now you kind of just figure out like who are your really close friends that you really want to like maintain that relationship with, like
Yeah.
as an adult.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot actually. Like people always say like the older you get, like the less friends you'll keep around. But like I also feel that with the pandemic, like most people are like really, really bad texters. So it's really difficult to like maintain friendships when you're like not seeing each other in class or like
Mhm.
like you said, like going to a party
Yeah.
or something. Like there's no reason to text each other. So like when you do, like the conversation ends in like 2 minutes unless they like really, really know you.
Yeah, there's definitely friends where like I'd rather be like in a group hangout with them or like one-on-one with them in person than like a text conversation. Because like sometimes it's like there's not much you can get out of a text conversation most of the time.
Yeah.
It's just like a catch up for a little bit and then nothing else. Like you can't like do an activity together or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you guys
that's-
prefer calling or texting?
I like calling more.
Yeah, me too.
Me too, but I don't think I would call everybody that I classify as a friend. You know, like I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I think,
Harsha would never
Yeah.
call me, bro.
yeah, like I think I wouldn't call people outside of like a group call, like multiple people,
But
except
also like
except Amrita.
Harsh is probably the best responder I've like ever met. Like this man responds in like record time half the time when I talk to him.
Yeah, I got
No,
nothing
he'll
else to do,
respond
man.
before you finish.
Yeah,
typing.
like legit. Like I've typed my first like because like usually when I message people, I like always have like I'm like talking about 3 things at once, so I have like 4 or 5 lines of like text in a row, and I like type 1 line of text in Harsh. I already see Harsh like on typing another one response. I'm like, yeah, let me get my thoughts out.
I also get a little bit more stressed out when I have to talk on Messenger just because of the scene functionality.
Yo,
Wait, you
Harsha,
can't turn that off?
You
I don't
can,
know.
I think you can.
Oh, really? Nah.
Oh, Harsh is better. Oh.
Harsha responds to text like he does homework, bro. Like the teacher will assign homework, and or if Harsha's in that class and they assign homework at the beginning and like they post it on Canvas or whatever, he'll start it during class. Like that's just how he is.
Waste no time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would prefer to text a lot of my friends more than call. I prefer calling if it's like you actually have something to talk about, but like a day-to-day thing, I just think that texting is just a lot easier for both parties.
Yeah, that's fair. But like when someone wants to tell me something important, like an important story or something, like I always want them to just call me instead because that's just.
It depends. 'Cause sometimes I need time to process what the hell you just said to me, so I can like look at it for like 10 minutes and be like, all right, what is my response here?
So if I just call you, just be 10 minutes of silence. It's like, okay, I'm ready.
You know, I'm on a delay.
Usually when I text people nowadays, it's like I have like 3 or 4 conversations and like one block of text. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, I feel like it's just easier. I feel like I can talk about more things all at once. You know what I mean? And I can just respond when I need to.
I like the new like reply feature on iMessage because you can actually have 3 different conversations like in the same time.
Yeah.
Because like it keeps the chain going, you know?
Tell me more.
Yeah, shut up, Ron.
I have an Android, by the way. If
Fucking-
you guys didn't know. But one more thing I wanted to mention was, so me and my girlfriend, we usually call every night. We don't really text too much throughout the day, unless like we can't call that night. But the problem is like half the time we have so many things that we want to tell each other during the day that like happen, but then none of us ever write it down. And we keep saying we'll write it down. But then when we get to the call, we'll share our day and stuff. But then there's like so many details that we wanted to like let each other know, but we always forget by the time we call. So I guess there could always be a good combination of both.
Yeah. One question I do have though, I have a question. So what do you guys think is the difference between like friendship and like a romantic relationship?
I mean, I don't love any of these guys like that.
Hey man, it's
You
the
don't?
boys. What the hell?
Like, that's fucked,
What?
man.
I don't want
The boys
to
always got you, dude. What
like.
the-
I don't want to kiss you or anything.
I mean, why not? I mean, it's for the boys.
I guess.
That was so forced.
I mean,
the way I always viewed it was like I feel like the person. Well, I guess it's just me, but when I think of someone I want to date, that's usually like a good or best friend of mine. Like beforehand, like I get to know them pretty well before I start dating them. But I know like that's not always the case for like a lot of people. Like they get in a relationship and then they like become closer, or, like become better friends.
Yeah, I would say I'm the same way. I don't date my friends.
Yeah. I just don't think it works out because say if it weren't to work out, like it would be really awkward
Yeah.
when
Yeah, 'cause,
like
you always
you have to
tell your
go
best friends,
backwards.
like your problems, and if you have problems in a relationship, then that is your best friend. So
or if you guys,
Yeah.
or if you and your like a significant other share like a friend group, then
Yeah.
it's just awkward for everybody.
yeah, that's true.
Is the pick a
Yeah.
side and all that.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people say that they want to be friends with the person before, but like I don't really understand that because I'm like, wait, so when did that switch like flip
yeah.
Progress
to
yeah.
like romantic?
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I guess that question's harder for me to answer because like I have like 2 girl best, they're like twins, and I tell them like everything, like they know me like so well, so like it's kind of difficult for me to differentiate other than like obviously like physical stuff, but other than that I don't actually know what the big difference is. I guess like you're combining your lives too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also feel like I surround myself with people of the same gender. As a straight person, like it's just not even a thought that really goes through my head,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Like, so most of my friends are guys, I think. I don't know. I didn't really count, but off the top of my head. So that thought never really occurs. But with like my female friends, I mean, it's just, there's just a different way you see them, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how I feel, at least.
Trin, what do you think? You've been quiet.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like when she asked like what flips the switch, I'm not really sure. I
Your
feel like if
penis.
Is the
Your
switch always
penis,
on?
Oh my god. That's very direct.
Why'd you say it so? Why'd you say it so aggressively?
I said it with my chest, bro.
You need to see a doctor? I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Oh my god! Holy shit! I wonder if Harsh's mom was like just outside the door trying to listen to what he's saying. Just yells your penis.
It's like because Harsha and Murtha were like what good friends like throughout like all their childhood, and then they started dating.
Yeah.
Just imagine like Harsha just like goes to Murtha. It's like my penis has flipped the switch. I am ready now. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I guess
true,
that's it.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. basically. I think it just depends on the person. I don't know if I could point it to like one specific moment.
Yeah.
I think maybe my like view on this would change if I wasn't dating Amrita right now. But like another thing that would make me want to be a romantic with somebody is probably like shared like culture and like things like that and background as well, because you feel more comfortable with someone that's obviously like shares the same like family heritage or things like that. Makes it easier.
Christian's making faces because my dude is on Brown Girl TikTok, bro. Trying real hard to get out there.
You know, sometimes you're not so proud of your past, you know?
I feel like dating someone from another culture would always also be like a eye-opening experience. Like, could also like help you like change for the better most of the time. Like, be more open towards other cultures and stuff.
Yeah. I think there's always going to be like something you have to explain to the other person. Like, you're always going to have like some kind of difference. Like, even if I'm dating a brown guy, like there's going to be the difference of like I have like the lived experience of a woman and he has like that of a man. So we're still going to have to explain that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like even lesbian couples, like one of you could be like from a poorer background than the other. So that will be like a shift too.
Yeah.
Speaking of being poor, we're poor. We need money. So we're going to take an ad break and we'll be right back.
Classic segue.
Welcome back, everybody. Now that we've had some time to ponder about what makes us happy, you know, money, that's for most of us. But as a general thought, what is the definition of happiness? Because it changes for every person, right? So something that makes me happy may not make somebody else happy. Like Harsha, I know sleep makes him very happy. Okay, you want a rebuttal? Go ahead.
No, man. Today I woke up at 9 for no reason.
Why?
I tried to go back to sleep, but I just peed and then that's it, man. It was so annoying.
Wait, what?
Oh, did you get out of the bed?
Yeah, wait. What?
Oh, no. I got out of the bed.
I tried to go back to sleep, peed in the bed.
No. I tried to go to I went to the bathroom and then I tried to go back to sleep and I couldn't.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Like, you woke
sleeping.
up because you had to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you mad
sleep
at your
makes me
body?
Happy.
Oh.
Continue.
Okay, but basically my point is like, do you define your own happiness? Like, is it like a goal that you're reaching, or you just like know it when you feel it? Or, I mean, there's I guess it's an individual definition of happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think, I used to think that like I would arrive at happiness. So it was like a destination. I have to do like certain things in order to get it. And I guess that's what we're like taught like growing up, is that like you go to college, you get the degree, you get the job, you get the family, and then you'll be happy and like you'll arrive. But like obviously that's not how emotions work. And like as I get older, I kind of like try to like detach myself from emotions. So just like not labeling like happiness as good and like anger and sadness as bad, you know? So like just like feeling what I feel. But I do obviously have like markers of success that I want to reach.
I feel like growing up, a lot of my happiness was like kind of determined by how proud my parents were in me, or like if I was making them proud. 'Cause I feel like they would set targets for me, and like so then I wouldn't have to like really set my own goals. So I'd be like, okay, if I just reach this, then they'll be like happy with me, and then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But I feel like as I gotten older, I've like learned to kind of like push back on their like goals for me and like set my own kind of targets. And like I feel like also as I got older, my dad got a little more pessimistic in what I could achieve. So like I feel like I've been trying to like gas myself up and be like, okay, I'm doing all right. Like I don't need like their like all 100% approval all the time, you know, to like make my to feel happy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think a lot of my happiness came from like validation from others when I was younger. But then, like as I grew up, I realized like I can do whatever the fuck I want. If I'm doing what I want to do, then I'll be happy. It's not that deep. And also see like happiness almost like as like a almost like a health bar, like in a game. You know what I mean? Like the more things that I do that I enjoy, the bar goes up. But then when like life throws things at you, it goes down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not always like a constant thing, but I can do things myself to bring it back up.
So what percent
if
of
that
the
makes
bar are
sense.
you at right now?
Bro? I think I'm like at a solid 80-ish.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
good. You agree.
You agree?
Wait, you know that sound? You guys ever play Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay, you know that sound when like they make when you have like really low health, like the red health?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro, that's like a constant soundtrack in my life, bro. That's what the life bar is at right now. But yeah, I think that happiness is something that I know that when you're brought up, like obviously you learn from your surroundings about what happiness should or could be or whatever.
Mhm.
But like Javi was saying, like once you get older, like you kind of make your own decisions about what's successful to you. And so for me, happiness is just like de-stress kind of, if that makes sense, where like I don't have to worry about things as much, which kind of sucks because this really leads to like a money equals happiness kind of thing, where like money resolves a lot of your problems and a lot of your stresses, which like yeah, that's a bad thing that like money is like the thing that determines whether you're happy or not. But I think at the same time, it just relieves a lot of issues. So I'm not saying like if I had tons of money, I would just be happy all the time, because that's just not true.
Yeah.
But I think that the ability to like get rid of a lot of those like factors that bring down your life is something that would be a lot better, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like
Yeah,
once you're
that's
fine.
totally-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
No, you got it. You're the good.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say that's I was just gonna say that's like totally valid, just because like obviously we live in capitalism, so like you can't really get like your basic needs met if you don't have money, like even healthcare and stuff. Like how are you supposed to be happy if you don't have access to that? And in order to have access to that, you need money, you know? So
Yeah.
The way I think about it is like I'm trying to think about like my like daily inconveniences, right? Where I don't know, let's say I like ran out of toothpaste or some shit like that, or I need to go get groceries. It's not a big cost for me to go out and get groceries, but like say you're someone who's like, I mean, poor, right? And you're like living off food stamps and stuff like that. It's like much more of like a hit to your happiness bar, so to say, to have to like worry about like, oh, if I get groceries, like all this stuff like this week, then I can't afford like whatever, like fucking like shampoo or some shit next week. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so when you don't have money, I guess like the hit to your happiness bar is like it's a bigger hit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to like reach like contentment rather than happiness now. Just because like instead of being like, oh, I want like so much money, I just want like enough money to be comfortable, I guess. Because like
Yeah.
I feel like once we set like a bar, once we reach the bar, we just set it higher and higher. So it's like then you're never gonna reach happiness. So it's like better to just be like content and like comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to establish like what that is though, because like I feel like a lot of people like set a goal on like a number, right? Like a salary number.
Yeah.
And you know, like you're like let's say you reach that number and then you're like, oh, you know, I mean, like I could get more, like, you know, I mean, if I work a couple more years at this company, I can get a bigger house and a nicer car or something like that. But it's all based on like your number salary, right? So it's like it's hard to be grateful for what you have and say like, you know what, this is enough.
Yeah. I think like that requires a lot of like practicing being mindful of what you have, like kind of like living in the present moment, because I think we're kind of taught to like always look to the future. Like even last year I kind of realized like, oh, like what are you doing for yourself right now? Because right now like all I focus on is like my degree, which is like 2 years in the future. You know what I mean? So yeah, it takes practice.
Harsha, what makes you happy?
Oh yeah, fun fact, my Harsha means happiness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But yeah,
So you have a lot of expectations.
along the same lines though, like when I was younger, my dad would say, hey, if you get into TJ, then you're set, you know, your life is set. And then I got into TJ and he's like, oh, if you get into a good college, your life is set. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then finally he was like, yo, once you get that first good job, then you're set. And then now I'm here and he was like, you know what, you should go to grad school, then you'll be set. So it just never ends.
Just ask your dad.
Bro,
to
your
write down
dad's
a
just a
list.
troll.
Ask your dad to write down like a list of like exactly what you need from you.
Dude, this is like a flow chart.
The set list.
But I think I'm trying to also work on like not having external things make external things only the source of my happiness. Like, oh, during school, like I had a test on Friday. Oh, it went well. I'm happy. Therefore, I want to go out and drink with my friends. Like shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it should
Yeah.
always be like I want to go out with my friends, regardless of what is going on in school or work, because at the end that doesn't really matter. It's about your family and friends and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm still trying to work on trying to be happy like internally and not have external pressures make me happy or sad.
I agree with that though. I feel like I'm very reactionary to like any setback I face. And like I definitely in college, like I feel there's many times where like you guys want to like go to a party, but then I was like, oh, I just like did not do well on like the last test I took. Like I'm not feeling good. I'm just gonna stay at back. But I feel like looking back now, I wish I took those like chances and just like went out and had a good time with you guys instead of like wallowing in like my own like self pity, you know. So it's not really worth it. Half the
I
time.
think I made that mistake before too, and when you stay back, especially if you're alone, it makes you feel worse. Like
Yeah.
it makes you feel like you didn't deserve to go out, right? But I mean that's not the case. If you just
Also,
went
because I
out,
know you
then,
guys are definitely shit talking me. Well, like I'm not.
Oh, 100%.
we'd be on the bus. You're like, "Where's Haran?" Fuck Haran.
It's okay. I was saying that in my room too. Don't worry.
But not going back to like the whole like your life is set if you do this and that or whatever. I think when our parents grew up, like that's how they determine success, right? Like if you go to a good college, you get a good job, you make some money, you have a good family, you are set, right? But nowadays, I think there's so many other different ways and easier ways to like be successful, right? Like, and obviously, like success is determined by success is how you define it in your own way. It's not like how other people define it. So I just feel like with like the internet and like how easy it is to do anything nowadays. There's
I mean, yeah, we have a
so
fellow
many-
TikTok star on here. She knows exactly what you're talking about. I wish I could have like popped off on like something. I mean, I would never put myself out there, but if like I don't know, if I had a different personality and I was like I don't know, a TikTok star somehow, and like that was like a profession I could like actually like pursue. I just wanted to see my parents' reaction to it and like see if like what they would say. Because it'd be like so unconventional for them. I feel like they would completely like flip out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when I
parents go
showed
crazy.
my mom, she was like really confused. She was like, wait, what? And she was like looking through the comments and everything. And like to them also, even if you get like 200 likes or something, or like any number, basically, like that is like a lot to them, because like with us, I feel like we're kind of desensitized to it since we're on social media. Like 200 is like, oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like such a big deal because like they're not
Like
on
200
social
people
media.
know you?
So they can, yeah, like they can recognize like how much that number means, you
Yeah.
know?
I used to show my parents memes too, and then I stopped after they kept being like, "Yo, who is this?"
I think we should close out with we all took a listen to one of Kavia's episodes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Before we it was recommended by Tarun. Take it away,
Oh, which one
buddy.
was it?
So we listened to the episode "Let's Normalize Cheating."
Oh.
Yeah, the title really got us.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I know we were talking about before when you like disagree with someone, what someone says, like you pay more attention to it. When this episode came out, I listened to like the first 15 minutes and then I stopped because I couldn't listen to any more.
Okay.
So then I returned back to it and I told them to listen to it too, so that we could have a good discussion about
Okay.
some of your guys' opinions on that episode. So like, does anyone have something what they want to fight Kavya about?
No fighting.
Oh my god, I don't even remember what I said.
Oh, it's okay. We do. So,
Okay. Thanks.
I don't know. I found it kind of hard to not take the opinions seriously, but like empathize with the opinions when you haven't been through sorts of things before.
Yeah.
Like when you were talking about having an open relationship or something like that, and nobody had been through it. Like I feel like that's not really a. Okay, for those of you who haven't listened, they were talking about how like you should normalize having open relationships, and just like you should just set rules, and some people are comfortable and some people aren't. But I think it's really hard because they were talking about how people, both guys and girls, but mostly guys, are like possessive in like monogamous relationships. And I feel like that's true. However, I think that also brings like a sense of security, because like if there's like, I don't know, a love triangle or some shit like that, and like there's two of the people are like hanging out, then the other person would feel left out. I don't know. I just feel like, I know in some cultures it exists, and I'm not bashing that, but I feel like in America or whatever, it just wouldn't really work just because of how, I don't know. That's my
yeah, that
opinion.
was like Yeah, that was like the comparison between like we were asking, is monogamy, is it more about like ownership or is it more about loyalty, like the whole committing to the people thing? And like yeah, this is all like conceptual just because like we haven't been in open relationships, so it's just like us discussing it. And like even when we were discussing it, like I admitted that like I could not be in an open relationship, and I think that isn't just because of like just because I think it's wrong. I think it's also because I don't have like the communication skills to like be in an open relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You're right in that it's like very, very difficult, like especially like in America where like politeness is like a really big thing, like in comparison to like, let's say like a French culture or something like that. Like they're very straight up about like the way they communicate, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's like a big deal. So like you could be in an open relationship and be in an unhealthy relationship and end up in like a whole like love triangle of sorts if the communication isn't good. You know what I mean? So I don't think like there's like an equal number of like healthy open relationships as there are to monogamous, because I think open relationships take more work, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Okay.
At least that's the way I see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that address what you said?
I think so.
Okay.
Wait, so if you're in an open relationship and like say there's A, B, and C, right? And B fucks C, does B have to tell A that he fucked C?
It depends on like the rules of your open relationship, you know? Like even with like, we do have open relationships in America, but we just don't call it that. Like there's so much like stigma. Like when we say normalize, what we really mean is destigmatize, I guess. It was just like, that's like a more catchy thing to say normalize.
Okay,
But
Clickbait.
like there's like a lot of like there's like a lot of stigma around open relationships, but we do it all the time when like people say they're friends with benefits, or they say that they're just like a thing or something. Like those people haven't set like a clear boundary. Sometimes
That's fair, yeah.
not all
I
the
didn't think
time, but
about
like
it that way.
sometimes. So like those are kind of in a way like open relationships.
Yeah.
So when you're in an open relationship or like a relationship with like multiple people, are you supposed to like give the same effort and attention to like each person in that, or do you like I remember on the podcast you guys talked about having like a primary person and then you just have like auxiliary like other people, like I guess. So I'm just confused on how that works.
Yeah, some people do that. Like I think some people want it to be like they are like your kind of like your home base, I guess, like your relationship.
Oh, like the
and then
roommates,
everyone
right?
else-
Yeah, we do that too.
Oh.
Fam, what the hell?
Yeah, like we do that with friendship too. Like we'll be like, these are our best friends, and then these are our other friends, right? So like that even was like the question when I was asking like, what's the big difference between like the way we operate in romantic relationships versus friendships? But yeah, the whole primary secondary thing is where like you have that person as your home base and like you are romantic with them, but then like maybe you're like physical with other people, or you don't tell them like super personal things or something. But like I said, like I think it's like very much like the rules that you place on it. And like obviously I'm talking about this conceptually, like we did like research rather than like
rather than being in
participated.
open relationships.
Experiment.
Yeah.
I like the whole like idea of the episode though, because I did think like in America, and like a lot of like, you know, the Karens out there, you know, like they always like have to like have their like these like opinions about like all these like, I guess it's different for like, I guess it's a generational thing, and like they live in a generation where like a lot of this stuff was looked down upon, or like you can't be having any of this. But I think like now we're all like kind of more open minded, and we're like more accepting of like different genders and like different like relationship types, and like we're not as like condescending as they are. And like I agree, I like that you guys had the discussion about it. I feel like that's not something I hear like regularly with like any of my friends, so it was interesting.
Yeah, it's fun to like talk about that stuff just because like I think we think that a lot of like the thoughts we have are like our own. Like even like when we say like, oh, we have to get this job in order to be happy, like is that what you think, or is that what your parents have told you your whole life, you know? And like that's the same thing with like romantic relationships. Like we've been told our whole life that like monogamy is the only way. So like when you're kind of like questioning that, like it isn't to say like suddenly I'm going to be in an open relationship, but it does like kind of make you like think, you know?
Yeah, just because
But
like
yeah.
you're accepting doesn't mean that that's something that you're going to pursue personally, because everyone has their different tastes and what they want out of relationships.
Yeah.
Dude, polygamy or polygamy?
Polygamy.
Bro, sounds like a lot of work. It's hard enough finding one person. You're like, imagine trying to find multiple, and then you have to split your time between them.
Bro, imagine like your polygamy group is like Lily Collins, Natalie Portman. I don't know. I'm trying to like, list more people that you know.
You do realize you have to get them to agree as well, right?
Oh, 100%. But I'm saying like, imagine that's what the group
Bro,
you're with.
Natalie Portman, Lily Collins. That's it.
True.
That's straight. I'm done.
Full stop.
I'm good.
Yeah, and people get like bored after like 50 years, you know? Like I wouldn't know what that feels like, but I would imagine like people are more open to it after like 50 years of being with the person or something like that.
So Collins will be like 80. You got a chance to enter. Slide in there.
I'm sorry if we like came after you like that.
Yeah, I don't know why you
fine.
did that so aggressively.
I said it with my chest, bro.
Yeah.
I do like you guys' titles though. When I was like scrolling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we were like
Oh,
scrolling through
thank
trying
you,
to find
thank
like
you.
which episode like will be the best to discuss about, and like all the titles were very like they got my attention, all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and like I was
Yeah,
saying in the beginning, they actually talk about actual shit, unlike
Real
us.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a very sophisticated discussion. So if you guys
Yeah.
want to check that out, make sure we'll link that in the description of our post.
How does it feel having a not so in-depth discussion?
No, this was really fun actually. I really liked it.
Eh.
We want to do more stuff like that in the future, obviously. Like we talk about like these like more like controversial or like serious topics just because like we're drawing from like our life experience. So when we talk about plastic surgery, it's because like so many girls our age go and get their nose done or their boobs done, right? So like that's something we can talk about. But also like when you're born into like the patriarchy that's kind of not really made for you, it kind of makes you question everything else, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's how we like come up with this stuff.
What's been like your favorite topic that you've talked about that you can think of?
I would say morality is a big one that we did. It was like the questions of like if there was a kid on one track and if there was like an old
Yeah.
person on the other track, like, you know, those kinds of questions. Those are really interesting. Like there's also like the shopping cart theory where they say like if you put the shopping cart back, that makes you a good person, and if you don't, that makes you a bad person. And it basically that whole episode was just us questioning like the binaries, so like good versus bad, when like there's so much like in between and like nuance to that. So like I always like questioning those things. So that was a fun one. We also did one on beauty standards. It's like talking about like cutting our hair and like can you opt out of your external reality or can you not? Are you like stuck with it? So that's another one I really like to do.
Do you think like recording this podcast with your friend has like now made your discussions outside the podcast also like pretty philosophical and stuff, or is it still can you still have like normal, well, not normal conversations, but like less intense conversations with them?
Yeah, I think like I think it hasn't really changed much actually. We do like sometimes we'll start talking about like, let's say what's one we did? Let's say we start talking about like beauty standards, right? We start talking about that like in person. We'll be like, actually pause, like save everything that you're saying. We're going to talk about that on the podcast. But like, I guess it would lessen it a little bit, but at the same time, like there's so much to talk about in the world that it doesn't really change a lot. Yeah.
See, whenever we talk to each other and we say something interesting, we're like, all right, everybody leave the call. We're just going to talk about this again later.
Yeah.
Because we say such small amount of interesting things that we have to save them all for the podcast.
No, yeah, we do that too because sometimes it's more interesting to react to like each other's like opinions when you're like on the podcast than to recreate it and like have to like laugh and be like, wow, like on the thing.
Yeah.
Wow, I definitely didn't hear this like an hour ago.
Yeah.
We don't really even talk about anything outside of the podcast, honestly. What do we do?
Yeah, we're not even really friends outside the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's okay.
No, it's cute though. Then all your friends can figure out what you're up to without calling you individually. They can just like tune in.
Yeah,
Everyone-
it's they tune in.
I think that's
everyone
worse,
that ever
though.
talked about our podcast always says like
Yeah.
that they like listen to our podcast because it feels like we're just like having a conversation with them, like
Mhm.
like just like
That's
back
very
and forth.
nice.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
it's a one-way street.
Yeah.
That is true.
No
We
one
don't
ever,
hear
and,
anything.
and then
no one ever reaches
Yeah,
out anymore, man.
Hey, if you're a real one, play back our episode and then like pause it when you want to talk back to us, and then record
Yeah.
that and send it back to us.
yeah, send a voice message.
Live text, like
Yeah.
while you're listening.
Yeah.
Yo, we should have like a
A listen party.
no, like we should have like a like what is it? What is a Kickstarter? What is it called? It's like a crowdfunding.
Crowdfund?
Crowdsource.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crowdsource.
Crowdfunding.
We should have like a crowdsourced podcast episode. So like I'll record a clip of me speaking and then we send it to the next person and then that person like says something to that and then the next person says
Oh,
something.
God.
To that.
Like, that goes
I don't
so
think we have
quick.
that many friends, man.
And then Christian gets to edit all of that together.
No, the fact that you edit everything is so crazy to me. Like we edit too, but like it's like back and forth. So it's like I can like take a break for a couple weeks. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, good idea.
that's nice.
Good idea.
We know Harsh is a big editor now too. He could probably do it.
Yeah.
Harsha made
Yeah, how did
Harsha edited
how did-
a birthday video for his girlfriend. That was very well edited, to be fair.
Thank
So
you.
Fair play to him.
It was the
How long
hardest
did
thing
it
I ever
take?
done. It took me like, it took me a long time just because I didn't have all the videos at once. Like,
Mhm.
Okay, how much time do you think you spent on it?
probably like 4 hours,
It's pretty long.
like here and there.
Christian's like what?
Like in one sitting.
No, it was like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, like getting it together, and then like I had to like change everything once I get more videos because like some of the other stuff like was unrelated to it, so I had to move things around.
Mhm.
And then I had to like, yeah.
So
So like
some
I was,
people sent
three-
him like
3-4 hours.
7-minute videos or whatever.
That's
Oh my
great.
God.
But yeah, maybe like 3-4 hours first to figure out like what I was gonna do, and then yeah.
Mm. No, once I start editing, like even photography, like I kind of get stuck because I'm like in a flow and I don't want to like
Mhm.
break that. Because like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll like start editing like a photo and then I'll go to the next photo and it'll look completely different because it's like edited at 2 different times.
Yeah.
So, you know.
You ever see those like photography contests where like people will edit a different photo in different ways,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or the same photo in different ways? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they made us do that in communications class.
Oh.
Yeah.
Christian, remember
Fun.
when you remember when you sent me that photography contest like link thing?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck that shit, man. It was
Yeah.
it was like for $500 and I had what do you call it? Sent in photos from my brother and I's Canada trip. So like all the photos from there were like pretty fucking insane. And I'm pretty sure I got to like the finalists. I think it was like the top 10 or something like that. And the person who won, he took like a picture of like a fucking horse and put it in black and white. And they said it was better than my picture on top of a fucking Canadian glacier. And it was like fucking.
Maybe because you're letting the
Not
Canadian
the
glacier
black
do the
and white.
talking and not the actual picture.
Yeah, man.
What'd you say?
Let the horse
Yeah.
talk.
What'd you
I said
say?
maybe you're letting the backdrop do the talking more than like the actual image. You know, like you're just piggybacking off Canada. You're not really doing much with your own shot, if you will.
That was honestly
Yeah, you didn't
the
do
worst
anything.
argument. That was the worst argument I ever heard in my life. Bro. I deserved that $500. That could have paid for the PS5, bro.
Damn. Hey, you got one anyway though.
yeah,
Congrats.
we'll see though.
Yeah, that's true. Now, getting beat by a black and white photo, that's
That's
tough.
tough.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
Speaking of rough, this ending, it's rough. However, it's here. Somebody else can go. I don't want to do that anymore.
All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. So we're going to wrap it up here, but we want to thank you guys for listening. And most importantly, we're going to thank Kavya for coming through. Definitely go check out her podcast. It's Coaches Don't Play on Spotify and I'm assuming all other platforms.
Yeah.
And yeah, follow her on Instagram. What is it? What's your @
Kavya Kumar _
There you go. And we'll link it in
Yeah.
our, we'll link it in our Instagram as well. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks Kavya.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you. See
All
ya.
right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.